Welcome, guys, and today we're going to be talking about our little FPS kit. Sorry about that. And damaging enemies. Now, this isn't going to do the destroy or the ragdoll effect or anything like that. It's just going to specify on how we can get our perimeter to be enough. Now, we've got bullet holes now, instantiate some bullet effects, and we're going to discuss about that, but mostly on how we can damage enemies. Now, this is a design that I believe is going to be simple enough, but is going to be effective. Now, as you can see, some of ours goes into the negative because we don't have anything when it goes to negative health, which is fine. I mean, it's not that big of a deal yet, but we have our changes that we've made. Now, this is the health script. Now, this is just a regular class, nothing special. And then we've got this public function, which requires a float, and then we just deduct it from this health. Now, I like using it in this way because here's what happens. You can use a very simple method like this. Hit transform is not null. If it's movable, we do this. If it's a NPC labeled with a tag, we pass the method, which this is what this is for, the method, the value of the method, which is one perimeter. It doesn't allow you to do more than one, unless you do a temporary array to transmit more information across, but it's kind of pointless in one way for a lot of things because you only need one message most of the time. And if you need more, you should just put it into a class and then pass it with your value. There's no sense in you having this huge amount of messaging when you can do so much more to optimize it. Now because this is the value, we send it damage. Okay, and then we don't require a receiver. Because here's the reason. Even if it's not tagged NPC, you've hit something. So you can technically do it from a damageable, and you can put little simple messages in there. Hey, if it's an NPC, movable, and hey, got hit. And for our bullet hole, we just went and made a public, for now, bowl, which I just put a generic name. I should put bullet hole, but I didn't. I probably will do some better name convention later on, but this is just to get it to working functionality, because when you're dealing with hitting something on the normal and then going around with a rotation, the problem with it is you don't really get a hit. Well, how can I put this? See, I do this temporary variable right here, from and to rotation, creates a rotation which is based on two vectors, which I use a vector3.up and hit.normal to get a rotation that I can use. See, if I didn't have this and I just passed quaternion.identity or like 90 degrees or something of that sort, it won't actually be facing the correct way from the normal the facing of whatever I hit. So if it's on the ground, it's going to face toward me, which is no good. That's why I put this in here, so that when it instantiates, I could put this. Now this little offset thing right here, I put it as a permanent variable because I didn't want to go and put a new vector 3 each time. Okay, it's kind of dumb to do a new vector 3, new vector 3. It's like a new instantiated object over and over and over again, which I'm like, why do I have to do that? I'll just make it a little variable on this vector 3 right here and just put a little bit teeny tiny, because here's what happens. When you do a hit dot normal like this hit dot point, it will give it that exact very location. And the problem with that exact location is you already have something there. So it does all this tweaking around and it looks real funny, like it's going to disappear, but it doesn't. And it just looks ridiculous. So we give it a little bit of offset. And this rock right here, we pass it into here. And that's it. There's your bullet hole against the wall. I mean, you can perfectly see when I play the game, it does the correct orientation. See, even if I hit this guy from this side and the side of his head, it's the side of his head, but you get the gist. Now the bullet hole thing is very easy to do, which is that's pretty much it right there. Bam. There's your bullet hole. I mean, I couldn't write it any simpler than 2 lines. Well, 3 technically. Okay, it's as simple as that. I mean, I don't know how I can get it any shorter than that. Now for the bullet hole, we go into our and then prefabs, and this is the bullet hole right here. Just a simple painted on texture and whatever paint thing that you want. You don't need the collider. You need the mesh render. Now this script right here, all this script does, it's actually provided in Unity Asset. It's just a time destruction. That's it. That's all it does. If I can open it up, I'll show you. It's from Unity Asset. You can get it for free. It's in the utility folder. And for all it is, it wouldn't be hard to write it in 2-3 lines of code, and it just does that. That's it. Very, very simple changes on those two, and there you go, guys. You got bullet holes and things, and you can shoot people. Now we can do stuff with particles and everything else, and hit something different, but I wanted to keep it simple for now. And yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean, like, hit, subscribe if you like this, and when you do an NPC like this or you want to damage stuff, it has to have a collider. Doesn't matter if it's trigger or not, but it has to have a collider. And you got the health script, which is very easy. I mean, you can put it into a ragdoll or whatever, but yeah, and we base it on tags, pretty much. See, you gotta make sure he's tagged on NPC, and that's it, guys. But like, hit, subscribe, and see you in the next video, guys, and thank you much. Bye bye.